Welcome, welcome. I'm Dee, and this is Single Mom and Guided Life, where I try to navigate through finances, motherhood, being single, and everything in between. And I bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable. This is my 2021 financial goals update. This is for quarter one. This was like a call out from Marcus of Debt Free Dad to, you know, evaluate, check in on our goals to see where we're at. And if you're not familiar with Debt Free Dad, he's here on YouTube and on Instagram, and he talks about budgeting, he talks about investing, and he also puts a legal spin on a lot of worldly news that's going on, and that brings everything full circle for us. Additionally, there are times where he has his wife, Donine, on the platform where she and him are having this commentary, and it's nice to see the two individuals with a difference of opinion who have grown together actually come to an agreement. So I love when she's on and we're able to see these different perspectives. So now let's go ahead and get into the 2021 financial goals. This is the budgeting sheet from my annual budget setup, which included goals, income, expenses, etc. Additionally, what I decided to do, and I'm just following the lead of Debt Free D, where she had placed all of her goals onto one spreadsheet. And I'm going to call that financial forecast. So into this worksheet, financial forecast. And this is where you're going to see my annual goals, and then I'm going to break it down quarter to quarter. Today we're going to talk about what I've achieved in first quarter, and then we're going to see what I'm expected to happen during the second quarter. So let's first talk about my goals. And in no particular order in importance, it was my emergency fund goals, cash flow Papa College, pay off my 401k loans, restart contributing to my 401k, and make additional $1,000 a month. So let's dive into everything. Starting with the emergency fund goals, I wanted to reach my 3-month goal by June and my 6-month goal by December. Well, I had to, change of heart on how aggressive I wanted to pay off debt, and therefore I decided that I needed to change my goal date. So for my emergency fund, my 3-month goal is to reach it by December 2021, and my 6-month goal is to be reached by December 2022. And I know you said, hey, we just in April, you got time. But I know personally, based on first quarter and second quarter, that this date is realistic for me. Things may change, something may happen, but I'd rather for it to be pushed further out and I reach it sooner than to be now and I never reach it until later. Well, you can't never reach it, or I reach it until later. Y'all know what I'm saying. Right now, my current balance is $5,174.56 as of March 31st. That was the balance. And so I just don't see myself making up enough to get to my 3-month goal of 7,500. So that's where we're sitting at with that. Now for Papa's college, I didn't have a real number, so I had to be realistic. Um, Additionally, we had to find money, scholarships and grants. I wanted to be the one to take out loans, and I didn't want him to take out of them. So that was another thing I had to consider. So let's talk about this. So Papa applied to 3 schools. He was accepted to all 3 schools. One school was $30,000, and they offered in scholarships and grants. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Scholarships and grants. $5,000. So that brought the school down to $25,000. Okay. I didn't see myself being able to be on the hook for $25,000. So we looked at the second school. Second school was $20,000 for the cost of attendance, and they offer Papa scholarships and grants of $6,000. So that brought that down to $14,000. Again, I didn't see myself being on the hook for $14,000. The third school is $15,000, and they offer Papa scholarships and grants of $10,000. So that brings that cost of attendance down to $5,000. So at this point, I feel like I can be on the hook for the $5,000 roughly. And I'm okay with that. Now, Papa has been applying to scholarships, so that's not out of the game. It's just the notification of those scholarships are not going to be made into June and July. Okay. Because of that, I decided that it was best that we chose this to be realistic and choose a school that I personally am able to work towards helping pay off. Okay. Because at this time, the schools are ready for us to pick housing, they're ready for us to pay for orientation, they're ready for us to choose classes. So I can't wait to June and July to determine where the other money is coming from. Okay. So that's where we're sitting at this time. Again, things may change as scholarships become available, but after looking at the school that we're working towards him attending in fall, he's okay. First, it was a bummer, but he's okay now based on the fact that it's meeting all his needs in and out of the classroom. So we're good to go with that. So the next thing is pay off my 401k loans, and that plan is to pay that off by April of 2021, which we're in. And this goal and date itself is what I want to contribute to the 401k loans before April 30th. Now, the two loans that I brought into 2021, one has already been paid off, and the other I'm working towards. And we'll see how that plays out in the month-to-month quarter update. Next thing is restarting my 401k contributions, and I decided that I am going to shoot for a July date because not only will that help with determining my income, because by that time I would have received my annual raise, so we'll have an accurate number of my income from the year out. Two is that we'll also be able to see is the current changes that I made actually working, and if not, how much I actually need to be contributing to reduce my taxable income. So that's where we at with that. Next is making an additional $1,000 a month, and this came from me thinking that I can make this after taxes, and there is times that I will not be able to do that after taxes. So what I'm going to decide to do is change this a little by averaging this at the end of the year. So based on what I made for the year in side income, I'm going to take that number, divide it by 12 with hopes that it's 1,000 and I can reach this this goal. So let's go ahead and get into this setup. So let's start with January. Was I able to put $500 towards debt? Yes, I was able to put $630 to SBL3. So we're going to hit Control 5 and we're going to do a strike through. We're going to go down, and was I able to put 500 plus towards emergency fund? Yes, I was able to put $1,387.92 to my emergency fund. Another strike through. Was I able to bring in 1,000 plus in for my side income? Barely. I was able to bring in $1,090. And so we're going to go ahead and do in Control 5. Now that is definitely before taxes, but like I said, that this is me just making sure I'm bringing in the $1,000 a month, okay? So when it comes down to the average, I can say I brought that in, okay? So let's move on to February. Was I able to put 500 towards debt? Yes, I was able to put $691.63 to SBL3, which was my 401k debt. So that's a strike through. Was I able to put 500 plus towards my emergency fund? Want. No, I was not. The only thing I was able to contribute was $48.04, and that came from the Zero Out Challenge. If you're not familiar with the Zero Out Challenge, it was a challenge that Rochelle Adamson Budgets here on YouTube, she had presented us with different challenges that we can do throughout the year, and the Zero Out Challenge was one that resonated with me and one that I decided to apply to my envelope system. I felt that I purposely was spending every dime in my envelope system because my mind said I had to, okay, versus working towards actually making an effort to not spend everything, and then taking that amount and putting it somewhere else. And that to me was something that I had to do subconsciously because I just was not being realistic with what I can do about sending money to my emergency fund. So I did not meet my goal that I set in February because I already met it before I just threw in a towel. The next thing was to bring 1,000 plus in from side income, and I was able to bring in $1,233. So we're going to do another strike through. And if I made a little bit more, I would have been able to bring in 1,000 plus in after taxes. Let's go to March. So in March, I had to be able to pay off my 401k loan. This came through my payroll deductions. And again, I'm happy to say that on March 29th, it was paid off. So that's a strike through. I needed to build up my tax and seeking fund because I did have to pay my CPA, and then I did loan money out from this particular account to 2 individuals. So I knew I needed to build this up because guess what? I owe federal and state. So with that being said, I needed to work ensuring that money from my side income went towards this tax sinking fund because that's where it's generating from. So at this present time in the sinking fund balance, I have $1,212.07 because I was able to bring in money from my side income. I did receive money back from one individual, and then I was able to apply some other money towards this balance. And so right now, this is where I'm sitting at. Total, I would need $1,848. So we still need to work on that. I wanted this to be paid off by April 15th, the original due date. The new due date is May 17th for federal taxes. Again, I still want the money in hand, so I do not want it to be dragged out into May because I want May to be a turnaround in me actually saving for other things. So I don't want to pull from my emergency fund to pay this off either. I just really want the person to go ahead and send what is owed to me so I can, make up the difference if necessary and not make up a large difference. Okay. Bringing it in 1,000 plus in income. Oh, let me go back because we need to put a strike through because we did build that up. Bringing in 1,000 plus from side income, despite my car trouble, I was able to bring in $1,134 total. So let's go ahead and do Control 5 because I have met that goal. So for quarter one, it looks good. It looks like I am, working towards my annual goals, and it makes me happy. Because at first, when I was called out, I was like, I don't want to do that because I don't think I did anything worth talking about. But here we are. Okay, so let's look at, the second quarter. Okay, right now we are in April, and we need to see what we need to do. So in April, I want to pay off 401k loan SBL2. When we started, it had a balance of $1,226.82. Now, I did participate in March Madness money, and so a portion of what I was able to contribute to that will go to the balance of the 401k loan, and so that will bring this balance down. I just have to wait for it to clear to verify, and then we can see how much I have to put towards that by the end of the month. Okay, I am participating in another challenge to help me with reaching this goal, Make It Rain, and I am excited about that. Now, I did pick up another challenge, April Showers, but I'm not sure where I'm going to apply that money to in regards to that. So we'll figure it out. But all in all, we're on task for April for paying this loan off. The next thing is I want to send 160 towards my trip. I am taking a debt payoff break. And what I mean by that is that this aggressiveness that I'm doing to pay off debt, I'm going to back away from it and enjoy the fruits of my labor and then get back into it, okay? Just like Beyonce say. What she say? Um, strong enough to have the children and then get back to business. Okay, I'm not gonna be having no children, but we gonna do this right. We gonna do this right here. So then the next thing is I need Savannah to get inspected because Savannah, you know, has to pay her property and registration taxes very soon. Savannah is my car. She also needs to get an oil change because when I got my fuel pump, my water pump and my thermostat actually repaired, one of the codes didn't disappear off of my dashboard, and one was like, check the oil, check the oil, check the oil. I just had an oil change while I'm checking it, so I didn't leave the auto shop until the guy checked it. I'm like, sir, you don't have to check it. I'm not leaving here for you to check it because you didn't put that on the list of things, and it's gonna irritate me. So he did check it, and the oil was fine. I did call the place that I get my oil changes, and the lady ensured me if it was not leaking that I still had enough miles to, go to the next oil change. And she wanted me to do math and count from when I seen them last and to where I'm at. And we're not going to do that. We're just going to get another oil change and keep it moving. I want to bring in 1,000 plus in for my side income. Papa's going to prom. He wanted me to rent a car. That's not going to happen. I did look into some car service. I'm not sure about that. So we're just going to get Savannah all spick and span up so he can go ahead and take her out to prom with him. So I am looking into car detailing if that comes down to it. I'll definitely let you know when I do the second quarter update what we actually did. In May, I need to purchase some items for the home. I'm going to have guests in June. I want them to feel comfortable. I'm not going to show the list of the items, but I am going to ensure these items are in the home because I want them to be feel like they're home away from home situation. Additionally, I need to put $340 towards my trip. Now, Savannah need to pay her registration and property taxes so she can ride legal on the streets of North Carolina. And then I'm going to work on bringing 1,000 plus in for my side income. I now have an idea of how much I would need in my property sinking fund in order to pay taxes and upkeep of the property itself. So I want to go ahead and throw at least $300 towards this property sinking fund to ensure that it's going to cover everything into the end of September. And then when October comes, we'll build it back up until April, and we'll keep doing it again like that, okay? In June is going to be a month of celebrations. We have a graduation. Papa's graduating. So we got plans. We have birthday plans. Myself, and I have a sister who has a milestone birthday. And I'm going on a trip. So, yeah, this is where we're sitting at. I don't see myself doing that much of side income, though I'm going to do my best to do as much as I can. So I have some change, okay? Because we don't want not to have any change. So that's where we're sitting at right now for the forecast of quarter two. Okay. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to be part of my village. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. To all my returning subscribers, thank you. Everyone hit that thumbs up. Let them know I'm here. Let them know you like this content and share this with family, friends, and your coworkers. Peace out.